video.
Hello? Is this thing on? Hello?
Okay, it looks like we are actually live now.
Crazy talking. All right, go ahead, girl.
So, hi everybody.
How's it going, guys?
I'm Robin.
I'm
This is
Jim.
Yeah, we are the owners and the massage therapists at Cloudcroft Therapeutic Massage. So, we just wanted to say hi and thank you to all of you who are tuning in today. I also want to thank Aaron Lacombe for that great lead-in that he did. I want to thank all of the musicians that are participating in this benefit. This is really fantastic and we're enjoying the music. I also want to thank David Rucci for coordinating this. You are awesome. Thank you so much for setting this up, and thank you to everybody who is helping out with how this pandemic has affected the community. So, as we were talking about with how this pandemic has affected the community, it is not possible for us to social distance and give a massage at the same time. And that's why we have chosen to stay closed until now. Massage therapists were told that they could start working at limited capacity on June 1st, but there are so many other factors that we are looking at that we feel like we need to make sure are taken care of before we can safely work with people. The thing is, I'd say at least half of our regular clients are over the age of 70, which puts them in an at-risk category for contracting COVID. A lot of people that we see for their aches and pains also have chronic health conditions. And depending on what those chronic health conditions are, it either makes them more susceptible to contracting a virus, or it might make it harder for them to recover if they happen to catch something. So that's something else that we're considering. Also, there are a number of people that we know that are on medications that will suppress an immune response. And once again, that makes you more vulnerable to contracting a virus, or it might make it where you, if you do catch something, it makes it harder for you to recover from that. So we care about the well-being of everybody that we see, and we want to make sure that we don't inadvertently spread this virus, and we don't want to catch it ourselves, to be honest. So here's our current plan. We're looking at several factors to determine when we can reopen. I've had several calls in the last 2 weeks or so asking if people could make an appointment, and I have to say, well, not yet. The things that we're looking at are, we're watching those studies on the vaccines that are being developed, and we're trying to see when those vaccines are safe and when they're put on the market. We're looking at how the state of New Mexico is testing, how accurate those tests are, and are there any changes in the testing procedures, just to determine how much of the population is vulnerable and how many of them may not know that they're vulnerable. We're watching those positive cases too on the Department of Health website for both New Mexico and Texas, since this is a tourist town and we see a lot of our Texas neighbors coming in to visit for the summer break. What we're watching for is a downward trend in those cases for at least 3 weeks. And then we're also making sure that we stock up on our supplies and our equipment to make sure we can thoroughly disinfect that room and create barriers and keep our clients safe while we're working with them. Ultimately, it all boils down to when do we feel safe and when will our clients feel safe to receive massages from us. Now, with that said, we know that even though we can't give you a date, you're hurting right now. You're under stress and you need that. And we're not just concerned about your well-being as far as spreading a virus, we're also concerned about your well-being in this moment. So here's what we're offering. If you are interested in learning any relaxation or self-care or self-massage techniques, give us a call and we will do a free video chat consultation. Again, there's no charge for any of those. We will meet up with you. We will teach you some of the things that we do when we have aches and pains and we can't get the other one to work on us. And we'll fine-tune that specifically to what's going on with your body and your health history. Jim's going to step in and he's going to give you an example of what one of those self-massage tutorials might look like.
Hey guys, I'm back again. Rob, if you don't mind, go ahead and turn around and sit on the chair with your back to the camera. And what I'd like to talk about today are headaches. As you all know, we've been at this for about 18 years, and one of my specialties is actually upper body headaches. And What I want to talk about today is actually one of the most common headaches that I find that happen, that we happen to see in our office. And usually when people come in, we fine-tune via questions and functional assessment of what we're actually going to do for that particular session. But one of the more common ones, like I just mentioned, is people come in and they talk about they have discomfort or pain in their back of their neck. Well, one of the most common trigger points for that area actually comes from right around in here. Before I start with that, though, I'd like to explain to you very quickly what a trigger point actually is. A trigger point is a chemical-mechanical imbalance that happens within the muscle fibers, and when you push on it like such, it refers pain out from the point of depression into that area. So in school, I was always taught you never chase the pain. You always ask the questions where the pain is. And in my mind, when you're telling me where you're feeling the pain, I'm picturing where all the trigger points are. So with that said, what we're going to do is we're going to look at her shoulder blade. And it's kind of a little bit hard to tell here, so I'm going to point it out a little bit better. So the upper portion of the shoulder blade is right around here. And you can see this, where the ridge line is. It's called the medial side of the scapula. And you got the inferior angle right here, which is right around down here. So oftentimes, this referral pattern for this particular region right here stems from right around somewhere in here. So this is the upper part of the ridge, and this is the lower part of the scapula. So what you want to do is you're really just going to go through there, and you're going to go ahead with small little motions as such, or even with your fingers as such, until you find a spot, and you ask her, hey, is this the spot that's causing your headache?
Yep, that feels tender.
Okay, so it's not me today?
You're contributing factor.
Oh, okay. Always, right? So what you do is you're going to hold pressure on that spot for 12 to 15 seconds for about 3 to 5 times total, right? And so you're going to hold it, you're going to count to 15. Let's pretend that I counted to 15, and you release it. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to try to palpate that spot again. Am I on that spot again?
Yes, that's it.
Perfect. So in this spot right here, when I push here, she's going to actually feel the pain in here. And it can be anywhere in here, but oftentimes it's right around in this area that she has the headache. So that's a really easy way to fix that if you have a partner that can help you. But let's say that you don't have anybody and you're by yourself. And I've been using this technique for about 30 some years now. So an old physical therapist in the Army taught me this one. Most of you that come to visit, this is something that I give you as advice for homework when you leave. So on the long side of the spine, this is the spine right here, you've got 2 muscle groups on either side that are called the erector spinae groups. I like to tell you, get a softball or a baseball, you're going to lay on the ground. So let's pretend Robin's on the ground right now, and what she's going to do, she's going to make that softball by scooching with her feet. She's going to make that softball or baseball move into that spot that I was just manipulating with my thumb and fingers, and she's just going to lay on that for, 2-3 minutes until that releases. Again, when she gets on the right spot, it's going to make that referral into the head here, and she'll know when she's on it, right? Right. So that's a really simple trick, and we teach you guys that one if you come in with these particular headaches. So Robin, you want to go ahead and turn around?
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right, so that's an example of some of the things that you might learn from us if you want to do one of those video tutorials. We may also recommend some stretching exercises that you can do, and of course you don't need a partner for that. For instance, that trigger point that Jim was just talking about can also be treated by lengthening the muscle fibers here in the pec muscles, or the muscles that come across the chest. You find a door frame, you place your hands on either side, and then you sink in, and I didn't mean to.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our Mortal Kombat impression. What you're trying to do is bring the shoulders back, bring the shoulder blades toward the spine, and stretch wide. I find it also helps to look up a little bit, and then you get the front of the neck as well. If you can relax these fibers, then the ones that are in the upper back are not overstretched, and then they're not causing those pain referral patterns. So that's just some examples of things that you might learn from us, and you may get to see us banter.
Now, with that said, though, we definitely want you guys to call, because each individual is individually different. So we do have to make those assessments via functional assessment in our testing and our questionnaires, and that's incredibly important. But we're offering you guys these services because we miss you, we miss working, and we got to keep our skills sharp. We've been at it for 18 years, but we still want to make sure that when we do come back to work, we're as sharp as ever.
Yeah, we've been in practice each since 2003. We actually graduated a week apart from each other in different states.
Crazy,
just
huh?
Didn't know each other. We've worked together since 2008. We've had our practice in the second floor of the Electric Co-op building, Cloudcroft Therapeutic Massage, since 2016. And yeah, like Jim said, it's what we love to do, and we want to keep our skills sharp, and more importantly, we want to make sure that we can keep you stress-free and pain-free while we're not willing to meet face to face. So I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Again, thank you to all of these musicians that are supporting this cause, and thank you to the Cloudcroft community. We really look forward to seeing you again. We look forward to hearing from you. And by the way, if you want to make one of those video chat appointments with us, you can call us 575-415-4756. You can send us an instant message on Facebook, or you can send us an email at cloudcrofttherapeuticmassage.com. So thank you so much for joining us on our porch on this Saturday afternoon. Hope you're enjoying the music, and we look forward to hearing from you or seeing you soon. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.